So you're looking to create an online store, but you're not quite sure where to start. One of the platforms that you might come across is Shopify. Hi, my name is Byte Jones, and in this video, I will be telling you if Shopify is something that you should consider, or is it something that you should avoid altogether. Like, don't touch it, just leave it, whatever. Let me just first say that this video is not sponsored by Shopify. I am not being paid for this. This is based on my own honest assessment of using Shopify myself for about 5 years, and I just thought I'd make this video to help anybody who is just getting started. It's all a little bit confusing and we don't know where to start, because I've been there and it's just a little bit confusing right now. Right, now let's get into the video. What is Shopify? Shopify is a cloud-based e-commerce platform that allows you to set up your own personalized branded website to sell your products and services. So in other words, you can use their platform to create an online store. You can list your products and services, whatever you want to sell, using this piece of software, okay? Now, they've been around for a very long time, so they know what they're doing. They've been around since 2006, and they have about 1.5 million customers or so the last time I checked. The company is Canadian and they're listed on the New York Stock Exchange as well, so they're fairly trustworthy. And this brings me right into why you might want to consider Shopify and see if it's right for your business. Now, one of the first reasons is that Shopify is highly trusted. They've got millions of customers. They're used by small businesses to big brands, and a lot of these brands you might know. So one of my favorite brands that uses Shopify is Gymshark. Gymshark is a fitness apparel brand based in the United Kingdom. They've got millions of customers. They do around anywhere between 2 to 300 million US dollars in sales per year. So it's a massive company, and they've been using Shopify since their inception. I even saw a video recently where Ben Francis, the CEO of Gymshark, he was talking about how in the early days of the company, they left Shopify to try another platform, but they quickly went back. So you take from that what you want, okay? So the platform is highly trusted, at least by Gymshark. However, you know, Kylie Jenner, the influencer on Instagram, you know her, the Kardashian girl, she has been using Shopify for a very long time to sell her cosmetic range. I think she's worth $1 billion or so the last time I checked. Not really sure, but she's really rich. Can't really keep up with it. Tesla, the car company, they use Shopify to power their e-commerce site that sells their cars as well. You know, Tesla is one of the largest companies in the world, definitely one of the largest car companies in the world, owned by one of the richest men in the world. Their platform is powered by Shopify. So Shopify's reputation is one reason why you might want to consider them. The platform is incredibly easy to use. Anybody who can, if you can turn on a computer, you can use Shopify. You do not need any technical skills. You do not need to know how to code. You don't need to know anything about servers or anything like that. Everything is very easy. It's drag and drop technology. Simple. My nan could do it. Literally anybody could do it, and they can do it right now. So themes, templates, whatever you want to call it, Shopify has them, and it has a lot of them completely for free. You don't need to worry about getting a developer to design a theme for you. You can use one of Shopify's standard themes. They're beautiful, they're well developed, they're well optimized, and if you're on a budget, I highly recommend this route. Obviously, if you've got money and you can pay for it, you can either buy a theme from their shop or marketplace or whatever they want to call it, or you can pay a developer to develop a personalized, bespoke, unique theme for you. But that might cost you some money. But you know, you have the option. You can use one of their standard free themes, or you can buy one from their marketplace, or you can have one developed, personalized for you. They will handle all of the tech, from hosting, security. You don't need to worry about your website being hacked. Everything will be managed by Shopify. Now, obviously, you still need to be careful with your details online. So using things like two-factor authentication, changing your passwords regularly, not sharing your password with anybody, sensible stuff, okay? As long as you're doing all of those things, your website will be safe. And if it gets hacked, it will be Shopify's responsibility to sort it out. The platform also offers great customer support. Shopify's agent, they're available 24/7 to answer any of your questions. But outside of that as well, there's a large ecosystem of knowledge-based materials, from videos to blogs to documentation available on the internet free of cost or whatever. You can find those to learn from, or if you get stuck with a problem, you can find something on the internet to help you. Now, speaking of ecosystem, Shopify has an app for everything. The platform has a marketplace, as I said earlier, and in that marketplace, you can find a variety of apps that will literally do everything for you. They will handle your payments, your shipping, your marketing tools, you name it. Everything can be managed within the platform by either Shopify themselves out of the box, or you can find a bespoke app to do it for you at a cost, of course. They're not free and they can be expensive too. Now, your customers are yours. Now, if you've ever sold on eBay, Amazon, or Etsy, you know exactly what I mean by this, okay? When you sell on those platforms, you do not own your customers. So if you want to market to them in the future to sell them other products, you have to pay eBay or Etsy to reach out to these people. On Shopify, these customers, you will have their email address from when they bought a product from you, and you can reach out to these customers to promote new products, to promote your sales, or whatever you want, obviously providing that you're complying with the relevant data protection laws or whatever it is in your own location. So you can't go spamming people, but the customers are yours. And this comes with significant benefits, but there are some downsides as well. And speaking of downsides, let's get into why you might want to avoid Shopify. So one of the reasons why you might want to avoid Shopify, as in don't touch it, leave it, put it in a bin, don't go near it, is that customer acquisition can be very, very expensive. Now, unlike Etsy, Amazon, or eBay, with your Shopify store, you have to drive customers to your shop. Otherwise, nobody will know that it even exists. And this can cost a lot of money, especially when you're just getting started and you've not embedded your store in the search engines yet, and you want to drive traffic to your store. More than likely, you will have to spend some money on advertising on Facebook, Google AdWords, or any other platform to drive traffic to your Shopify store. And this cost can add up. And especially when you're new to e-commerce, you're just getting started, you don't know how to run ads properly yet, you don't know how to do A/B testing, that sort of thing, it can cost you a bit of money to get going. Earlier, I mentioned that Shopify has a large ecosystem of apps. Now, these apps can be very expensive. A lot of them have monthly subscription fees, and in addition to what you're already paying Shopify, this can add up to hundreds of pounds if you're not careful. So one of the biggest disadvantages of the platform, if your online store requires a lot of third-party apps, then the cost can escalate quite quickly. So you want to be careful about this. Now, this is a big one because depending on where you are, you might want to avoid Shopify altogether because Shopify payments might not be supported in your country. And if Shopify payment is not available in your country, you might have to use an alternative payment method, and this can be expensive because Shopify will charge you a transaction fee on that, and it's not cheap. So you need to be careful about this. So if you want to avoid paying transaction fees, then you're better off using Shopify payments. But if Shopify payments is not available in the country you're located, then you have to use another transaction type, and the fees that Shopify charges on this can be quite a lot. So another reason why you might need to stay clear is that there's a long list of prohibited goods that you can't sell on Shopify. So for example, in the United States, you can't sell adult material on Shopify, you can't sell drugs, I think even certain supplements you can't sell. And there's a very long list, and that list changes all the time. So you need to be careful here. If you sell anything that might be a little bit in the gray area, it might be borderline, then I think it's probably best that you avoid Shopify altogether. The platform has poor blogging features. Yes, Shopify does have a blog functionality, but this is not great, okay? If you want to have a really good blog, then you're better off going somewhere like WordPress and integrating WordPress into your Shopify site. It's not ideal for SEO, but if you want a highly functioning blog, then that might be your best route. The URL structure of Shopify can be a little bit inflexible. So for example, it doesn't really allow you to optimize your URLs for SEO. So in the URL, you might see words like collections and products a lot, and that's not really ideal. So out of the box, your products are limited to 100 variants and only 3 options. So what that means is you can have a product that comes with 3 options, and those 3 options can only come in 100 variants. So if you have size, color, material as your 3 options, and those size, color, material might have different variants to it, you're limited to 100 of those variants. However, you might be able to change this by using one of Shopify's third-party apps in their app store, and this is what I'm talking about. If you use a lot of apps, very quickly, the cost for Shopify can add up very fast. Another reason why you might want to avoid Shopify is that there's poor support for multiple languages out of the box. So if you want your store to be available in multiple countries and languages, then again, you might have to purchase a third-party app to do this, which will obviously add to your cost. So, should you consider Shopify or should you avoid it? Now, I am going to say you should consider it. If you're in a country that doesn't support Shopify payments, or you want to offer your store in multiple languages, then you should think carefully about your options here, because this could get very expensive fast. But I do think that Shopify is one of the easiest platforms for a newcomer. It has a very low barrier to entry, it's very easy to use, highly customizable, very efficient, and I think you can get started on Shopify very quickly and start selling right away. I also love the fact that as a newbie, you will have access to a large ecosystem of tutorials and guides and videos that you can learn from. So that's it, guys. My recommendation is that you should consider Shopify. If you got any value from this video, can you please click the subscribe button? This is my very first video on YouTube. I'm hoping to make more videos about entrepreneurship and making money online and e-commerce. So please click the like button to see future videos, and please click the subscribe button as well. Have a good one, and I'll see you next time.